Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. How you doing, 1LVZ? It's good to see you. Good to see everybody in the chat. So, everybody, Courtney Clenney's parents did an interview, and they were pretty much saying their daughter was justified in calling Christian Obumseli the N word. Mm, mm, mm. The only thing they need to do is throw the book at Courtney Clenney and her parents. You don't hear 1 ounce of remorse from her and her parents, and you never will at this point. You never will. She is still sitting there claiming self defense, and her family did nothing but aid and abet her in this crime at this point. So, no, you don't hear 1 ounce of remorse from anyone. They literally don't care what happened to Christian Obumseli at all. She would just, if she got out right now, she would walk away and not give anything that she did a second thought. So, my question is, why are you still out here trying to date these people? Look at what happens if they finish you off. And look, we have seen these folks walk after killing a man or woman from the Black community. We've seen them walk. And it wouldn't take much for a jury that looks like her that would let her off the hook. For real. You know? But he was stupid because when you look at the videos of her all up in his face, and that last one, when they were together, she was calling him the N word then. And it's not like he was like, okay, I'm out of here. He stood right there arguing back and forth with her instead of leaving and just realizing maybe this relationship is too toxic for me to be in. I guess he wanted a white woman really, really bad because he stuck around for all the abuse until she put that knife in him and ended everything for him. Now, they were saying that when he was laying on the floor, he was telling her, I can't feel my arms. I can't feel my legs. I can't. And all she said was, sorry, babe. And at one point, they said he was laying there crying because I think he knew. I think he knew this was really it. This was over for him. So don't play the fool for anybody out here. If you're a man or woman, don't sit there and be a fool to an abuser. Get away from these people, for real. Just get away from them. Just like you found them, there's always somebody out here you can be with that's not going to do that stuff. The one LVZ, thank you for the super chat. David Lucas says white folks calling you the N word isn't racist. David Lucas is going to have a really bad ending. He just don't know it right now. It don't pay to cape for them folks. We all know that. It don't pay to cape. But he'll learn soon enough. How you doing, the True Royal family? Okay, y'all, let's get into this one. Let's get into it. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, dark skinned brother, for the super sticker. All right. All right, y'all. The parents of Courtney Clenney justified their daughter calling Christian Obumseli the N word. Mm, mm, mm. Now you see why she's so jacked up. The people that raised her are jacked up. So her parents have said Courtney Clenney, the OnlyFans model, well, former, because she sure can't be that behind bars, use of the N word. And they did an interview recently with TMZ. And she fatally stabbed him back in August of 2022. She was out of jail, for several months. And many in the public were complaining about how she was able to walk around free. Second degree murder. Now, remember, actually, he was murdered in April. She did not get arrested until August. So that right there shows you, she's been getting preferential treatment, and that's not going to end. Sometimes before their arrests, Deborah and Kim Clenney, her parents, they have come forward to speak up for their daughter. So the Clenneys, they were saying how abusive the relationship was between their daughter, Courtney, and Obumseli. But they also seemingly attempt to paint their daughter as the victim and justified her actions, including calling her black ex boyfriend the N word mid argument. She told me why she called him that. This is what her mother is saying, because she wanted him to leave. And she said, no self respecting black man would stick around after being called the N word. So she thought that was a way to get rid of him, get him to leave. Kim added, obviously, it didn't work. This is what her father chimed in and said. Deborah then pulled the "my daughter likes black guys." "My daughter likes black guys" card, claiming that Courtney wouldn't have faced prosecution if she were black. And I did a video on that. And her ex-boyfriend was white. So if it was a black woman and a white man and she took his life, they wouldn't have been prosecuted. I don't know where that happens. I don't know what her mother's talking about. Obviously, it didn't work. So she liked him partly because he was black. The proud mother continued, I believe if Courtney was black and Christian was white, we wouldn't be here. Obumseli and Courtney, there were several videos of those two arguing back and forth. And she goes on to say, my bad that I forgot to tell you that, he said, that doesn't make you act and call me an effing N-word. Courtney did it anyway. So he was pretty much telling her, don't call me the N-word. And she just disregarded what he said and called him the N-word anyway. So then after she did it anyway, he responds, yes, yes, thank you. Coming from you, Courtney. This guy was just a big sucker. He really was. He was a big, Christian Obumseli was nothing but a big sucker. He really, I mean, this woman just ran all over him and he let her do it. Courtney parents admitted that Courtney was temperamental whenever inebriated. So they're blaming her temper on alcohol. I don't believe that. I believe this girl was having temper tantrums throughout her whole life. I bet you if there was a way to go back to her childhood, she was probably one of those kids that fell out and had temper tantrums. I bet, because she seems like the type. And her parents did a very poor job in disciplining her, because if they would have done a better job, she wouldn't be all out of control now. So they probably just allowed her to do anything she wanted when she had an explosive temper tantrum. They just kind of left her alone and she just did these things. Okay, but her parents maintained that their daughter killed her boyfriend out of self defense. He weighed 230 pounds. She weighed 150 pounds, according to Deborah. He said, she said her daughter told her she feared Obumseli killing her, and her mother confirmed. Yeah, well, it didn't turn out that way. It didn't turn out that way at all. So her mother is claiming he almost did kill her a few weeks before his death. She said that she was passing out and he strangled her, and said it was going through her mind, oh my gosh, my mom is going to have to plan my funeral. This is what the parents are saying. I don't believe we heard anything like this from Courtney Clenney. So anyway, her parents claimed the elevator footage of Courtney hitting Obumseli was her trying to get him out of the elevator because she didn't want him there with her. So they got an excuse for everything for their daughter. I tell you what, y'all, I bet every dime in my wallet she ain't acting like that behind bars with those female inmates. I bet you she ain't having temper tantrums up in there. I bet she got a good case of act right in that prison, because those women, they won't hesitate to jump her butt, and they will do it. I bet you she ain't running off at the mouth with them and getting all tempered up and throwing temper tantrums. I bet you she ain't doing that up in that prison cell. She ain't doing it there. Mhm. Boy, I think her parents are actually gonna do her in. I really do. If they get up on the stand and talk the way that they did during this interview, I think her goose is seriously cooked. I do. I think it is over for her if they get up on the stand and talk the way that they are in this interview. Mm, mm, mm. Well, she did the OnlyFans model, dress all skimpy, or in some type of bikini in front of the cameras. That's what she did. And, no matter what you think about her, she was able to make millions. They said she was averaging, I think, like 3 million a year. That's what she was averaging. Okay. And y'all, they did far more than just her doing OnlyFans. She and Christian Obumseli also did porn together. They were doing porn. So it goes way deeper than anything that you might have heard. You know what? It made me laugh. One of the last videos I did on them, someone said he was hooked on Sambo sex. I almost fell over. I almost fell over when I read that. Well, it was funny to me. So anyway, her parents are literally justifying the N-word. Should we be surprised? I mean, they all sound, including her, Courtney and her parents are just your typical white supremacists. And see, that's what many of our brothers and sisters out here that are dating these folks, Do you realize this man or woman that you're dating got white supremacist parents that raised them at home? All it takes is for them to get mad at you, and all of it's going to come out. You know how many times I've heard it several times from different people that were dating them. As soon as the relationship fell apart or they got into a heated argument, they don't hesitate to let that N word go. Mm-mm-mm. In fact, there was one around me. He got he was separated from his ex-wife who was white, and they got into an argument when he went over to see the kids, and she called the police. And you know what she told the police? That he hit her. And he said, I'm standing on the other side of the door asking to see my children. And she's standing in front of him with the phone and called the police and said that he hit her. And he said he didn't even go in the house. He was standing outside, and that's what she did to him. So she was hoping that the cops would come up and just shoot him. That's why I'm saying they get rotten when the relationship don't work. These women get vicious. I'm not saying that sisters don't, but they, in my opinion, do it far more than sisters do. And that's my opinion. You may not agree with me, but that's where I stand, and I stand firm on that. I guess, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to withstand that kind of relationship. I wouldn't be able to do it. In my opinion, nobody is worth all of that. Every time you're around them, they're upset, they're swinging on you and all that, man. I mean, nobody on this planet is worth all of that. I'm sorry. Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, everybody, I am going to conclude again. I thank the one LVZ for the super chat and Dark Skin Brother for the super sticker. Thank you so much. And everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day and be on the lookout for my videos. I got some really good ones coming out tomorrow on different topics. And if you have not subscribed to my new podcast, make sure you get over there and subscribe. I have completely different material over there. I'll put the link out here before I go. I have different material over there, so you don't want to miss. And I don't do any articles like I do on my main channel. On that, it's straight commentary. So, everybody, please enjoy your day, your night, your evening, and be on the lookout for my videos. Shalom, family.